afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy John's Field here on this beautiful Sunday here in downtown Utica. It's our final Sunday fun day of the year, presented by Fairytale Entertainment. Got the top two teams in the USPBL facing off each other here today. It's the Mammoths and the Hoppers here this afternoon. I'm Alex Johnson here with Kara Wolfbauer for the pregame show here today. Marcus Judd will be joining me in the booth in a little bit. But Kara, looking at both of these teams here today, then the Mammoths picking up a huge win last night, 7-6 over the Beavers, highlighted by Nick Lucky in his USPBL debut, went 3 for 4, including a 2-run homer to right. The Mammoths have been really clicking right now.
Yes, Nick Lucky was our Detroit News Player of the Game yesterday, going 3 for 4, a home run, massive home run, right over the hill out in right field, and then 2 singles yesterday, 3 RBIs. So did a fantastic job from Nick Lucky yesterday in his USPBL debut. But the Mammoths and the Hoppers faced exactly a week ago today, 9-2 win for the Mammoths. So Hoppers had a bit of a tough go. We'll see how they can come back tonight. Since we're heading towards championship weekend, this could kind of give us an inkling about how that week's going to go.
Yeah, right around the corner. Teams trying to get the best position possible. Nick Lucky was huge for the Mammoths yesterday. I had a chance to talk with him. He was really happy to be here yesterday. First time in Michigan. Enjoyed being with the crowd here yesterday, and again to show off what he can do here did last night and try to do it again here today. Facing against this Hoppers team, coming off some games this past week. After that 9-2 loss you mentioned on Sunday, they lost 11-2 to the Beavers on Thursday before picking up a sudden death victory on Friday. Ryan Cockey's team is looking to be ready to go here today.
Absolutely. It's looking like if the Mammoths can win today, they will totally, for sure, clinch the #1 seed. But if the Hoppers win today, they can't go any lower than 2. So they still can be within reach up there, but they will clinch the 2nd place seed. So we'll see. This should be a great game tonight. This could be a possible championship game matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these teams playing really strong, and over the last few weeks, especially with Taylor Joskowski getting his Mammoths team ready to go, and Ryan Cockey has been doing extremely well with his guys, getting them ready. After last week, after last week's loss, they're trying to keep their momentum up. They've been really had a consistent roster throughout this whole season. Haven't had a whole lot of changes, so that's been a strong suit for them. Building that chemistry with the guys all season long has been really crucial.
Yes, the Mammoths and the Beavers have been pretty solid in keeping their lineups about the same this year. The Mammoths have been changing it around a little bit. Some guys on the IR. Burl Dixon, we talk about him a lot, on the IR still, hoping to have him back during championship weekend. But again, they have guys now in like Nick Lucky, Dre Williams-Nelson, starting to take that #1 and #2 spot up there. Just trying to perform well for the team, get them started, because Burl Dixon was usually the one that would try and get that first hit under his belt so we can get the Mammoths rolling for the rest of the game. But now, Dre, Nick Lucky, they're at the top lineup today, hoping they'll do well for the rest of the team.
Yeah, they've been filling in for Burl Dixon's absence. Hopefully we can have him back by the championship weekend. He was been a really key player throughout the entire season. He's one of the top players in the USPBL this season.
Yes, we've had a lot of guys, especially like Chris Davis, Burl Dixon. We talk about them all the time. 2 of the people that have been a main talk of the USPBL, but that's just exactly what we're all about here at the USPBL. As we head towards championship weekend, anyone can walk away with the trophy that weekend. Even though the Beavers, Unicorns have been struggling, you never know. The Unicorns, one good weekend, that weekend specifically, could take them away with the trophy for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's just a one-game sudden death. It's not like a best of 3 or best of 5 or best of 7 like you see in the MLB. Anything can happen in that one game, and then if you win, you move on. It doesn't matter if you're the 4 seed or the 1 seed. You still have a chance to win it all. It's a good chance. So everyone still competes here, for the chance to win it all for the title next week.
Absolutely. We've even seen in the past that sometimes being the #1 seed is not always the most comfortable position, actually. Being the #1 seed can actually put you in a bit of a tough position. You only play once that weekend, so you might be coming in a bit cold. Guys really aren't maybe as mentally tuned into the game, while the #2 seed, possibly the Hoppers, like the Beavers last year, came in and won the whole thing. They got to play the day before, ended up beating the Mammoths in the #2 game, the semifinals, and actually took away the win last year. So being #2 seed could still be quite a comfortable spot for them.
Yeah, it could be interesting where everyone goes here. So everyone gets prepared, from all 4 teams get ready for the championship weekend in a couple weeks. What is everyone looking for here in this final week of the regular season, Kara?
I would say just consistency. It's really tough here at the USPBL, I guess, sometimes to find that consistency for some of the guys, because it's either their professional debut, so they're still getting used to it, coming from different levels of college. But again, that's what makes us so special, I think, is it's about making adjustments and getting better at the game to try and get these guys to move on to the next level. So I think that as we head towards championship weekend, just trying to find that chemistry on the team and have the guys really stick together. And the Hoppers have had that so far this season. They've been getting here real early, having great team chemistry. So I think that's what really will make a team stand alone from the rest of them here on championship weekend.
Yeah, I got one last question here as we get close to the first pitch. Kara, what are you looking for the keys to the game as both of these teams rematch here from last Sunday?
I would say really strong defensively is what we need today. No errors in the field. I think that lots of times, even if you're struggling batting early on, the hits will start to come, but you need crucial game playing in the field. You cannot be making too many errors, and that's what we've seen a lot recently in the USPBL. So hopefully they can kind of find more consistency, very fundamentally sound in the infield today. I think we should do very well on both teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Kara. No, first pitch is just a few moments away. We come back. We'll have the first pitch in the lineups between the Mammoths and the Hoppers. We come back right here on the USPBL network. Don't go anywhere.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy John's Field on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in downtown Utica for a Sunday Fun Day presented by Fairytale Entertainment. Got the top two teams here in the league here today, as it's going to be the Mammoths and the Hoppers squaring off here this afternoon. I'm Alex Johnson, along with my partner here today, Marcus Judd, the Beavers' second baseman. He's going to be joining me on here throughout the call here today. Let's take a look at our sponsors, though, who made this broadcast possible. Fairytale Entertainment, Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Dave & Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, and United Wholesale Mortgage. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors here today who made this broadcast possible here on the USPBL network for some Sunday Fun Day here today. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First for the visiting Mammoths, who are coming off a 7-6 victory over the Beavers last night, coming in 25-17, the top team in the USPBL this season. Let's take a look at their lineup here today. Leading off, once again, will be the second baseman, Trey Williams-Nelson. Had a good day leading off last night. Then he'll be followed by the center fielder, Nick Lucky, who made his USPBL debut last night, went 3 for 4, including a 2-run homer to right field to help the Mammoths get the victory last night. Fox Slim is back over at first base, batting third, looking to have a good day here today. Livingston Morris is back at the DH spot and cleaning up for Taylor Jelikoski's squad here today. Nick Webb back on the left field, batting fifth. Patrick Mills is in right, batting sixth. Alex Garbasic had a couple of base hits last night. He's back at the hop corner here this afternoon. Scott Combs is behind the dish after having the day off last night, with Zach Beto behind the plate yesterday. And rounding out the lineup again for the Woolly Mammoths is Trevor Austin, who made a spectacular sliding catch over the back shoulder to take away a base hit from J.D. Stubbs of the Beavers last night. They're going to be sending Nathan Witt on the mound for the Mammoths. We'll talk more about him in our pitcher comparison.
Absolutely.
Looking to have a good day here today. Let's see who we'll be facing with the Hoppers lineup. Looking to come off that 9-2 loss they played against each other last Sunday, trying to regroup here today, coming in 22-19, second place in the USPBL. Leading off will be the second baseman, Luis Acevedo. That'll be followed by Noah Marcoux, who's usually in the DH spot. Ryan Cockey put him in left field here today, trying to try some new things here in this last week of the season. Joe Burke, MVP candidate in the conversation. He's at first base batting third. Brian Schellenbarger in the cleanup spot over on right. Joe Califoot is going to be the DH man today, batting fifth. Then it'll be followed by Anthony Flores in center. Tosh Porter is behind the dish for the Hoppers here today. Then it'll be followed by Todd Maddox, who's over at the hot corner. And rounding out the lineup will be the shortstop, Alex Pup. Ryan Carolden, who got the start last Sunday against this same Mammoth squad, will be back on the bump here again today. We'll talk more about him as well in our pitcher comparison. And Marcus, this is a huge game, though, for the Hoppers. We mentioned coming off, had 2 games, this past week. And they had a sudden death victory on Friday against the Unicorns, lost against the Beavers, and then the Mammoths last week. How did it look to bounce back here today from that last week's loss against this same Mammoth squad?
Absolutely, absolutely. Both of these teams are sporting lineups that are very run-producing heavy, especially late in ball games. Mammoths usually get their runs early, coast to the finish. Hoppers will be sporadic here and there with the amount of big bats they have on both these squads. The key today for both of these lineups is do not allow these pitchers, Carolden or Witt, get to their secondary pitches. Both guys have sweeping sliders and curveballs that can definitely keep you off balance. The goal today, do not let them get ahead in the count, stay ahead in the count as hitters, and produce. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes defensively and capitalizes with runners in scoring position offensively will come out victorious in this ball game. Really looking to build momentum this last week and a half leading into the playoffs, giving your pitching staff and your coaching staff a little bit of a ease of tension, knowing that your guys are confident stepping into the box and on the mound, so to build a cohesive unit together. It's going to be important for either one of these teams to make a push for the playoffs to hopefully bring back a ring. But they got to get past the Beavers, so I'm really not concerned.
Yeah, we're looking at it here today. A lot of key recipes for success here, Mark. It's going to be a good one here today. We'll see who makes the least amount of mistakes will win the ball game here today. A lot at stake for both of these teams. When we come back, the first pitch is coming up right after this here on the USPBL Network.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in the exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Welcome back, everyone. First pitch is just a matter of minutes away. Here's the Hoppers and the Mammoths square off here today on this last Sunday game of the year. It's the last Sunday fun day here at Jimmy John's Field for the 2023 season, presented by Fairytale Entertainment. Let's take a look at our pitcher comparison here today, always sponsored by Ascension. I'm Alex Johnson, joined by Marcus Judd of the Beavers here today. Now take a look at our pitcher comparison here, Marcus. Ryan Carolden is back on the mound for the Hoppers here today. Looking to bounce back, though, after last week's loss against the Mammoths. Last time he was on the bump. Coming in with a 2-0 record, ERA at 2.91. He's been really solid for Coach Cockey and squad this season.
Absolutely. Facing Carolden, he's definitely a guy who can throw 3 pitches for strikes. The key for the Mammoths today against him is to, again, be aggressive in the count, try and hit the ball often in hitters' counts. Do not let him get behind. His breaking stuff is very good, very deceptive, but numbers don't lie. You know, he has 37 Ks per 17 walks, only giving up 36 hits in the 46 innings pitched. So he's definitely a guy who's going to pound the zone today. So be ready for the Mammoths to swing it.
Yeah, and Nathan Witt will be on the mound for the Mammoths. You know, he has done really well, making some adjustments over his last few starts. We can talk about more about him when we get to the bottom half of the inning. He's going to be a guy to look forward to for the Mammoths here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. The Mammoths are going to have to – the key today is for the Mammoths to continue to hit the baseball from top to bottom. On days where the top of the lineup is hitting or isn't hitting, the bottom half of the lineup during their wins have been very successful in putting the ball in play and helping the team get back to the top of the lineup. You get runners on with that top of the lineup, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, this is a huge game for the Hoppers as we take a look at the standings right now. The Mammoths sitting at first place, 25 and 17. The Diamond Hoppers, you know, a few games back.
Yeah.
Trying to gain some ground on them here today, and they'll try to get the best position possible here, Marcus.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, for the viewers who don't know, we are going to be doing the playoffs are coming up soon, September 7th through the 9th. During that time, the winner of the league, so to speak, who has the best record will get a complete bye to the championship. So definitely a big benefit, 1 and 2 teams fighting for the advantage, not to have to play that extra game and waste key arms and things of that nature.
And we're underway. The first pitch is fouled off by the second baseman, Dre Williams-Nelson.
Dre's become a close friend of mine. He has played for the Angels in their minor league system. Having talked with him about his hitting approach and his consistency at the plate has definitely helped Jelly. You know, as most of our viewers are aware that Jelly has a lot of players that have gone on to play at higher levels this season alone. So with that comes in the have to bring in new guys. you know, and Dre is really, really molded in, especially having one of the best players. He squares around a bunt. As Burrow is out with an injury right now, Dre has really stepped up to be that guy either at the top of the lineup or defensively in center field when they had him before Lucky came around. So he's definitely been a key role for them, and he's going to be important for the rest of the season for him.
Yeah, hitting .250 on the season, and you mentioned a lot of the players on the Mammoths have been signed.
As he gets a base it up the middle.
Yeah, good eye contact and good read on that 90-mile-per-hour fastball. And Williams starts off the game with a leadoff single.
Absolutely. Just like we talked about, do not fall behind an account when you're ahead of the account. Try not to do too much with the pitch and pass on to the next guy. He did exactly what he's supposed to do.
Let's take a look at the Hoppers starting defense here this afternoon. Always presented by 3-Dimensional Services. Look out in the outfield for the Hoppers here today. Noah Marcoux is in left, Anthony Flores in center, Brian Schellenberger in right. Then look at the infield, Tom Max over at the hot corner, Alex Pup at short, Luis Acevedo at second, Joe Burke at first, and Tosh Porter is behind the dish for Ryan Carolden here today.
Yeah, the Hoppers defense, they definitely have some of the best defensive hands in the league. Todd at third, Pup at second, Acevedo, Pup at short, and Acevedo at second base with Burke at first. And not a lot of errors with these guys on defense. Very important for hard hitting as another double play ball.
Pup throws it over to Joe Burke.
It makes everything look so simple. As we know, the middle infield for these guys are going to be important. As a pitcher for the Hoppers, it does give you that reassurance knowing that a ball on the ground is caught and made and out 90% of the time. So definitely huge for them to continue to play well defensively.
Yeah, good play right there by a leader, Alex Pup. Got on the ground. He stepped on the bag over at second base and relayed it over to Burke for the 6-3 double play on Nick Lucky. What a 3-for-4 night in his USPBL debut last night.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Ground ball off the glove of Carolden. Going to be a tough play. No throw.
Yeah, that one's tough. That play's tough there for any pitcher to either go get or allow to go through the middle after the last guys who went up the middle as well.
Yeah.
That one there, he probably should have let it go. It didn't look like it was hit hard enough to get through on its own. They had Luis pinch middle, so not a bad play, but unfortunately couldn't get the out there.
Yeah, that would have been a difficult play. It was right back up to Carolden, went off his glove. Pup chased right after, but didn't have enough time to throw it over. No. Better to just hold on to it than try to throw it away.
Did he? Yes, he did.
And gone.
With a 370-foot bomb. Absolutely. First pitch fastball, left it up, and took it for a ride.
There's home run number 1 by Livingston Morris.
The big fella.
The home run derby champion gets his first one on the year.
Good for him.
Exit velocity at 103 miles an hour.
Shoo! What a swing by Livingston Morris. This guy who's starting to get a little more comfortable in the plate. We spoke about his hitting approach not too long ago near their All-Star break, and he just said I'm trying to get a pitch early in the count that I can swing at and not try to do too much with. With a guy of his stature, with a guy of his strength, he doesn't have to do too much to a baseball for it to go a long way. Great swing, great job by Fox hustling down to get on base, changing that solo shot to a 2-run.
Early momentum for the Mammoths. They were down 3-0 last night. In the driver's seat to begin here today as Nick Webb steps in the batter's box.
Yeah, expect a lot of home runs from this Mammoth team and it's back into the stretch.
Yeah, it's their 20th as a team this season as Webb fouls that one off with a fastball, and he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. Carolden gets set with the 0-2 pitch. Ooh, that one just missed on the fastball by Carolden at 1-2 now. Nick Webb. Webb hitting 3 for 14 against the Hoppers this season.
Ooh.
As he's rolling up on strikes. What a great pitch by Ryan Carolden to get out of the inning. But not before a 2-run blast by Livingston Morris to left center field, and the Mammoths are on the board first. We'll head to the bottom half right here on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Nathan Witt is on the mound for the Mammoths here today. His team already has a 2-0 advantage thanks to the 2-run homer by Livingston Morris, his first on the season. And we take a look at Witt here today. Coming in as Nathan Witt, coming from Goodrich, Michigan, 6'4", 235 right-hander from Clarkston area. He went to Michigan State. Was a 17th round pick by the Dodgers in 2017. Making his 7th start on the season. He did start in the non-public game Tuesday against the Unicorns. And he's looking to do a lot of good stuff here today. He's made some adjustments over his last few outings. It's going to be a tough guy to stop here if you're the Hoppers batters.
Absolutely. Again, Witt's another guy who's going to be sporting a heavy fastball with an option to throw a slurve or a hard slider. Again, early in the count, hunt fastball down, and just attack. Do not let him get to his secondary pitches, because once you get behind the count, you never know what's coming.
Yeah, he has some of his secondary pitches. He uses like a sweeper. I talked with Coach Karn as Acevedo steps in and sees a first pitch strike.
Yep, he threw it just in. That hard breaker. He's going to be sporting that all game long. If he can throw both of those pitches for a strike, it's going to be trouble.
He goes back to another off speed at 78, but misses outside. 1-1 to Luis Acevedo. Acevedo, from Caracas, Venezuela, Weber International University grad in the NAIA. Hitting .271 on the season. Was 2 for 8, combined in the 2 games against Unicorns and Beavers Wednesday and Thursday. 2-1 count as Witt throws. That's a good location. Goes to one of his other secondary pitches. Uses that cutter at 92. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Luis Acevedo. It's that one down, ball 3.
Witt seems to be mixing in a lot of his off-speed pitches early to these hoppers, which he's going to have to do to keep them off balance. So you got to stay focused, and when you get your fastball, don't miss it.
Got to be careful here in these full count situations as Witt throws the payoff pitch right back up to Witt. He's going to underhand throw it over to Liam. What a play. So Acevedo is retired. Let's take a look at the Mammoths defensive alignment here today, sponsored by 3-Dimensional Services. As we take a look at the outfield here today, Nick Webb back out on left. He was out there last night, as well as Nick Lucky in center. Patrick Mills back out in right. And then a look at the infield, Alex Skarbasic over at third, Trevor Austin at short, Jory Williams-Nelson at second, Fox Liam, who was over there on that play at first. And then behind the dish is Scott Combs, who was off last night as Zach Beadle had those duties in the game against the Beavers yesterday. So now Noah Marcoux will step in now.
He looks like he's throwing both those pitches for strikes.
He's been able to find his command, especially when you, for Witt, for all pitchers, when you see, the same teams so many times throughout the course of the year, you got to make adjustments. As he strikes out Marcoux, goes to the fastball cutter. I think it was the cutter rather, but
no, that one there. So talking to Witt, knowing his approach, you're gonna see a lot of cutters to righties. When he pulls across his body. He oftentimes throws his cutters by accident. Speaking with him, when he spots his fastball after his slider, if he goes away to righties, it oftentimes cuts. If he throws it to get ahead in the count, throw it a backside to a righty, or to a lot of your other guys in the lineup, you'll see that heavy two-seam run. He's been mixing up as well. So he'll throw a four-seam, two-seam, and some of the times his cutter may be a cutter even by accident sometimes. So definitely look for him to continue to mix up his pitches.
Yeah, he's been doing so here today, keeping the hitters off balance. It's 2-0 on Joe Burke. A tough guy to stop. Hitting 321 on the season, near top of the average. In the USPBL this season. Not chasing that one. It's now 3-0 on Joe Burke. Had that bases loaded walk in sudden death to give the Hoppers a victory over the Unicorns on Friday. 3 for 9 overall this week as he sends this one out to right. Mills is underneath it and makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Witt as he sits down the Hoppers in order. We head to the second. It's 2-0 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Ryan Carolden gets back on the hill, looking to recover after allowing that two-run homer by Livingston Morris in the first inning. A huge game for the Hoppers as they look to try to stay within reach of first place. And into this contest, here today, joined by Marcus Judd, Alex Johnson with you for the call as well. And looking to recover here. Gave up that home run on the first pitch to Morris. Has the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up here, Marcus, with Mills, Garbasic, and Combs. Got to take care of business with the bottom of the order due up.
Absolutely. Get early in the count, get ahead in the count, pitch to contact, get out of the inning, allow your boys to come up and get you some more run support.
Patrick Mills had a good night last night. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Hitting 226 on the season. On the ground, what a play by Acevedo. Lost the ball, has to throw it over, but not in time.
Good attempt there. Yeah, that one there is a do or die. Either you make it or you don't. Heck of a job by Luis to keep that ball from going to the outfield.
Yeah, you like the effort. He dove down for the ball. Had to hurry it over, but was just a tad late. But you like the effort. Well, the leadoff man is on again for the Mammoths. Is now Alex Garbasic. I mentioned had a couple of singles last night. He has done well since coming over from Madonna University in Livonia, a local guy from Northville. Also went to Northville High School, one of the top schools in the state for baseball this season. He's done well against the Hoppers this season. 6 for 23 with an extra base hit and 5 RBIs.
Yeah, Garbasic's been doing a great job for Jellikowski over at third base. Defensively, arguably one of the best third basemen in the league, as well as these helping this Mammoths team getting his average back up to be able to help his team win.
Carolden takes a look over at first base with Mills. Got to be careful with him as he sends this one out of play. Mills over at first base. He hasn't stolen yet this season, but he's been trying to. This team is really aggressive. They tried to steal twice yesterday with Nick Lucky, but was caught both times.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. That's one thing about this league. A lot of the catchers have really good arms, really good pop times. So if you're not someone who's dialed in, as that ball is a possible double play.
One hop
Beautiful
and
turn.
Oh, no, not in time.
I don't know.
That just goes down as a fielder's choice.
Oh, man.
It took one hop to Pup. He threw it over to Acevedo, and then they could not get Garbasic in time. But they do get the runner out of scoring position.
Yeah, that one was a tough one. That's a tough break. Definitely great plays, both up the middle. Just the play didn't go their way that time. Let's see if they can get a repeat ground ball double play, get them out of the inning.
Scott Combs comes in now. I mentioned he was off yesterday, coming in hitting .238 on the season. The Northern Illinois grad also played at Michigan State as well. Went to Divine Child High School. This one again to Pup. Relay over to Acevedo, over to Burke. That was an easier one.
Beautiful.
6-4-3 double play to end the inning. That's what the Hoppers needed. Now we'll see if the bats can come up and we come to the home half of the second right here on the USPBL network.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Welcome back, everyone. When it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Home Brewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. In the home half of the second, Nathan Witt gets back on the bump for the Mammoths. His team's up 2-0 right now. So he'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Schellenbarger, Califoot, and Flores for the Hoppers. A quick inning of work in the last inning. Retired the Hoppers in order. Nathan Witt. He had a good mix of his pitches, with his fastball and his slider. He's been doing that a lot here so far. Looking to keep that up here right now. As Schellenbarger steps in. And that one foul. Schellenbarger's also been a good piece, for Ryan Kotke's squad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with a 272 average, has had some deep fly balls, that's a good contact. That one goes out of play. Shows a lot of power, only 3 home runs right now, but he's had some ones right at the warning track and try to have the right approach.
Right. Schellenbarger's, he's among the top hitters in the league. He's up in the top 5 with hits at 41. He does a very good job of being a hard out. Very rarely will you see Schellenbarger wasting that bat or waste a swing. He gets in there, he has his ace swing off, and 2 strike. He's a lefty who can go backside with authority too. So look for him to be a very tough out.
Second year of the league, sends this one out to right. Gonna drop in. Leadoff single by Brian Schellenbarger.
Like we said, he's definitely a tough out.
Yeah, he just dropped that one down. He's now going to face Joe Califoot. Califoot, that was a mid-season addition for the Hoppers, as he's a 6'3", 215 lefty from Columbus, Wisconsin. As he foul tips it into the glove for the first pitch. Hitting 277 right now, but he's done really well this week, hitting 3 for 7 in the 2 games so far. Well, this past week. The one down again, off the glove of Williams Nelson into center. Just took an unlucky hop out of his glove, and just would have been a tough play.
Yeah, tough play all around, you know, with Drake going full-fledged, diving out on that one. A ball coming in at 93, coming out at 100 miles an hour. You don't really have too much time to react. Best you can do is knock it down. I've seen baseballs get past second baseman shortstops that are hit at 100 plus that even make it into the gap. So it's a good job by Dre to even knock it down to keep a double play in order with a Flores up at plate.
Yeah, Schellenberger not able to go to third, has to hold at second. Oh, he advances though, but he could have went first to third on that play, but as now Anthony Flores steps in now. An opportunity for the Hoppers to get one on the board and potentially tie it up. He shows bunt, holds back. Wise choice not to swing at it.
I love that idea. Love the idea. Bunt, get him over. This is a big situation here to keep the Mammoths out of contention. So definitely bunt him over, get him in. That should be the motto for today.
There's some action already in the Mammoths pen. Trying to reserve David Witt. He only went 2 innings on Tuesday night against the Unicorns. Looks like that's Garrett Martin warming up down there. So we'll see how far Witt goes. You know, after pitching 5 days ago. First and second, nobody out for the Hoppers here in the home half of the second. Flores shows bunt again.
Gotta get it down.
Yeah, called for a strike. Goes back to that cutter at 92. Flores uses his timeout.
Yeah, you'll probably see the Mammoths today, given that it's their last game of the week, probably go multiple guys, looking to 4 or 5 different pitchers today, depending on how their bullpen holds up.
Yeah. Just reached for that one off the top of the netting. Flores with runners in scoring position this season, 7 out of 38. Overall as a team, they're hitting 250 in that department. So they've been doing really well with runners in scoring position. Just missed with the cutter.
Phenomenal take.
Yeah, that could have. Runs the count full. Up next would be Taj Porter. Witt pitching from the stretch with runners on, looks over at second base for a brief moment, gets to his wind up.
It's a good swing.
Yeah, tap that one off his bat to battle here. You know, don't want to go down, don't want to waste an out.
Yeah, no, that's a good approach by Flores. Big key about Witt is being able to not be late on the fastball. If you are on time or early just by a hair, you're looking good to be able to recognize his off-speed pitches.
Payoff pitch coming again.
Just like we talked about. There it is.
In the air to right.
Do
all the way down, sliding forward Patrick Mills, but goes into the pen.
Fun fact, in situations like that, where a ball goes foul and it's in the air, depending on the situation of the game, it might be best for an outfielder to let that ball fall foul, depending on how the pitcher's working the count. Because if you catch that ball, easy tag up, it may even be a tag up from first to second and second to third. Yeah. So it's actually not a bad. I don't mind the idea of him not being able to catch that baseball, give Witt an opportunity to come back and get an out for himself.
We'll see what he can do. He keeps the runners where they are.
Yep.
He goes up the middle, trying to drop in, and he does. It does. Everyone moves up 90 feet.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Just like we talked about, being on time or early with a fastball of that velocity definitely helps you when you start to get deeper into at-bats, seeing multiple pitches, knowing that you're on time is a confidence booster for your hitter as well as a guy coming up behind you. So definitely look for Taj to do some damage here. If I'm him, cutting my swing down, getting a good barrel on a good baseball, just putting a ball in play, not trying to do too much. The last thing you want is to hit into a double play and kill your team's momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. Taj Porter exactly going to do that. Some fans, so passing out some Gatorades here. You got to be hydrated in this warm weather.
Bring them up to the broadcast booth. Come on, what are we doing? I like red. That guy's got a lot of posters too, man.
Yeah, I know there are posters out on the concourse, for fans. Winding down here in this 2023 season. Taj Porter with the bases loaded. Swings and misses, going to the top part of the strike zone.
If I'm Taj in this situation, I'm making Witt come down to me. At the end of the day, yes, you throw 95, yes, you throw hard, yes, you have good breakers, but bases loaded, the pressure's on the pitcher. Make him come to you.
He goes outside, doesn't bite at it with his fastball. Hopper's hitting 186 with the bases loaded, 8 in 43 attempts. A team that really wants to capitalize here with the bases loaded, and also with less than 2 outs, not even an out. So you want to be able to capitalize on this. This is a prime opportunity to get back into the game. It's early on. You would like to tie it up or even take the lead here, and this is a golden opportunity they can't afford to waste.
Absolutely, good swing, Taj.
That one drops in the right. Everyone moves up 90 feet. And the Hoppers are on the board. RBI single by Taj Porter, his 12th ribby of the year.
Taj, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. When you have a team who's both your catchers, spotting a 2-catcher system in this league, when you have both your catchers that are at least putting the ball in play with runners in scoring position, while having limited at-bats is a phenomenal sign as a coach to still have confidence in your guys. Definitely a good swing there. As if I'm coming up behind Taj, if I'm Todd Maddox right now, I'm thinking the same thing. Don't overswing. Let him come to you. Let's keep putting pitches in his arm, get to the bullpen, and then we start to work from there. It's going to be tough to score 1,000 runs, but you can do it one at a time with a good ball club like this.
Yeah, they did it with 4 straight singles, and now assistant manager Justin Karn talking over with Witt as Martin continues to warm up. I talked with Justin Karn prior to the game, and had an opportunity to talk with him how things have been this past week, and last night they were loose, locked in, ready to go. Quick turnaround for them. Playing last night, had to quickly respond, being done at 10:30 last night and get back at 10 o'clock this morning to get ready to go. And, you feel a little bit confident after a win. You feel like you're on top of the world, but now you're into some high pressure situations here. They were similar in last night. The starter, Connor Caparelli, got into some trouble.
There it is.
Maddox finds one past a diving Dre Williams-Nelson as Califoot scores, and just like that, we're tied up at 2, and the pond is still full of ducks for the Hoppers.
Yeah, phenomenal swing by Todd. Same approach, similar. You know that he's going to spot that fastball for a strike. You're being aggressive in the count. Hit the fastball early in the count. Don't try to do too much. Get past the torch onto the next guy, and now we have a 2-2 ball game. Regardless of the home run, it's a new game. Now you have bases loaded on your side with momentum, knowing that you have an opportunity to get out of the game and get to the bullpen.
Yeah, still hasn't recorded an out. 5 straight singles now to the leader, Alex Pup. We mentioned about him being a guy that has been a leader in the locker room and in the clubhouse. Based on his experience, his second year in the league. The average, only at 186, but he's still a guy to look out for, and he's moved around the lineup. He was near the top of the lineup at the beginning of the year. He's been down like in the 7-8 spot. He's batting now in the 9 spot here today, but coming in, hitting .231 against the Mammoths this season. So that's a good sign. Gets the job done every time he steps up to the plate. This one is popped up in foul territory. Garbasic sliding out of his glove.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. That was a close one. That's a close one.
You would have liked to get that out, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a windy day, you know, looking over out in left field. All the pennants over there. The wind's blowing.
Yeah, the wind definitely plays a factor, especially with foul balls and foul territory. They have a whole lot of spin, but when that spin, you add spin with wind and the sun in the midday, it's going to be tough to make plays like that. Good effort by Garbasic at third base.
0-2 pitch coming to Pup. And since I went out of here again, you know, out into the concourse, you know, but if you're Alex Pup, you know, you want to be able to just take a moment, just relax here. I know you're down 0-2 in the count, but, you know, you've had some good contact, you know, very fortunate, you know, still alive, you know, on that foul ball. 0-2 pitch coming from Witt, and he strikes out Alex Pup. The Mammoths needed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
First out of the inning. Back to the top of the order, Luis Acevedo. Grounded right back to Witt his first time out.
I still like to see Luis stay aggressive in the count, regardless of the strikeout on Pup. Stay aggressive, get a pitch you can drive. My thing is, he's one of the best two-strike hitters in the league. If Witt can spot 3 off-speed pitches in a row for strikes, tip your hat. But if he gives you that fastball, don't overswing, put a good barrel on it, and keep it off the ground.
You don't have to play the hero ball, as this one is popped up right over to first. Easy play for Fox Liam. Takes a few steps back.
Yeah, that's probably worst case scenario there. Probably the worst case scenario, but definitely not a scenario that you would have liked. Again, with a guy like Witt, you have to sit fastball. If he's able to get you 0-2 with off-speed pitches, the benefit is in your hand now because you've seen it twice. You've read break twice, whether it's a ball or strike, swinging or taken. Now you're in the driver's seat, but swinging early in the count like that won't do you any justice unless you're sitting on the heater, especially with a guy like this.
We'll see what it does here to Noah Marcoux.
Another off-speed pitch.
Yeah. This is going to be his 30th pitch of this inning alone. You know, he had a quick first inning of work. You know, that one's foul. Witt is one strike away from, just, you know, limit the damage, you know, keep it tied right now. 0-2 pitch coming on the ground, foul down the first base line. And then Joe Burke would be next. This is the 8th man to bat here in this inning, so this has been a lengthy inning right now.
Yeah, like we spoke before, the team that can capitalize with bases loaded is going to win the ball game. Let's see if they can do it with the game tied to put them ahead.
Witt gets to his motion, 0-2 pitch on the ground. Softly, and it's going foul.
And again, looks like Noah's getting thinking about the same approach. After seeing Acevedo and Pup both receive multiple off-speed pitches during their at-bats, understanding that you know that Witt hasn't been able to blow it past you because you've been on time so far, that's what I would be sitting. Sit fastball, do not be late on it, and adjust off-speed.
That's what he wants to swing at, you know. Gets another chance, you know. What about a tough play? You know, if that ball stayed fair, you know, he would have to tag him, you know, right on the line.
Yeah, that definitely would have been a tough play to make.
It was hit really soft. 0-2 pitch coming. Skied in the air into shallow left. Austin calling for it.
Well, you don't see that often.
Yeah, calls back Nick Webb. That's great communication out there by Trevor Austin to make the catch. The Hoppers do leave them loaded, but they do tie it up. They had 5 straight singles. A couple of RBI singles by Taj Porter and Todd Maddox has made it a 2-2 ball game as we head to the third when we come back here on the USPBL Network.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood. and recenter life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Ryan Carolden has to be feeling really good about his team right now. He's tied it up the game thanks to his offense. Brand new ball game as we head to the top half of the 3rd inning. I'd like to thank all of our fans who are watching here today's game, both on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to leave a comment on where you're tuning in from here today and the final week of the regular season before championship weekend starts September 7th through September 9th. Let's take a look at some of the comments so far here today. We got some Mammoths fans. Let's look at it here. Eric Calhoun says, "Let's go Mammoths." And Mike Stromer says, "Go Mammoths" as well. Eric Calhoun also watching from today's game on Facebook. I got some Hoppers fans on YouTube as that one gets past a diving Todd Maddox by Trevor Austin, hustling into second base for a sliding double to start. No, Marcoux could not get to it. So leadoff double by Trevor Austin. We do got some Hoppers fans in the YouTube chat. Giovanni Mosheri, as well as Bonnie Hot-tailing. Make sure to leave a comment on who you're rooting for and where you're tuning in from here today on this Sunday afternoon. It's the last Sunday game of the year. Trey Williams Nelson takes a first pitch strike on the off speed. Start off the game with a single. A 1 pitch coming. Missed inside. 1-1 went down low. Delson coming in, hitting now 5 of 22 against the Hoppers this season with 1 extra base hit. Check swing, called strike. Goes back to the fastball at 90 miles an hour. Williams Nelson takes a second, now gets back in the box. The count sits at 1-2. Carolden gets into his motion. Sends this one back out to center and drops in. Austin moves to third. Runners on the corners for the Mammoths. Trying to take the lead back. Now brings up Nick Lucky. Nick Lucky, we mentioned, had that 3-for-4 night last night. This is the second game here today. Had a chance to talk with him, know how his first game went last night. Was felt really good. Coming here, here today, first time being in Michigan. Played summer ball in Montana. Got in touch with Fox Liam. Teammates over at Coastal Carolina before Fox Liam went to Missouri. And a chance to come in, and talk over with Taylor Jellikowski and bring him aboard, for this crucial stretch here in this season for the Mammoths, trying to hold on to first place. Runners on the corners here now. 0-1 count unlucky. Carrollton throws. Lost it. Porter couldn't get to it. Austin stays at third, but Williams-Nelson advances to second on the missed throw. And now that takes the double play ball out of the equation now.
If you're Nick Lucky in this situation, definitely looking for a ball you can get to the outfield.
Pitch clock running down at 4. 1-1 count on Nick Lucky. Chopper right over to Joe Burke. He'll step on the bag, a run scores, and the Mammoths are back up front.
Definitely not the exact result Lucky would have wanted, but nevertheless, it gets a run across, gets your team to lead again. Can't be upset with that one.
Yeah, it took a high bounce over to Joe Burke. He thought about, getting Austin out at home, but he just said, hey, I'll just step out the bag, get the for sure out.
Yeah, that would have been a crazy close play. I don't even think he had a chance on that one.
Yeah, I know he didn't want to give up the run, but well, Nelson advances to third as well. Now has a chance to score here, and he will on the wild pitch. And now Mammoths get back up 2. It could have been off his glove, off of Porter's glove, rather. But nonetheless, the Mammoths are back up 2. Yeah, it did pop out of his glove. No. A big swing and miss by Liam. Had a single, an infield single back in the first. One pitch coming way outside of the fastball. 2-1. Liam was 1 for 5 last night. Coming in today, hitting .302 on the season. Has provided some power for the Mammoths. We mentioned the guys that got signed by the Minnesota Twins and the MLB organizations. Pitcher Kyle Bischoff, Duncan Hewitt, Francis Florentino. They had some guys, got signed, by the Twins, and they've had to fill those shoes of those players. And Taylor Jellikowski has done a phenomenal job of finding guys to mesh this team together and put them in the best position as possible.
Absolutely. It's definitely not easy getting a bunch of different guys with different personalities coming on a winning team nonetheless, because that could go really good for you, really bad for you, as Fox takes that strike 3. Did not necessarily agree with it, but seems that's the strike 3 to get Carrollton to 2 outs. But yes, Jelly's done a phenomenal job picking guys who fit the bill of his winning team at the moment. And it's definitely going to be important for these guys to continue to play for each other in the back end of the stretch so they can make a push for the championship.
Absolutely. He's always been saying they have the best team on paper, but they want to show it on the field. And they've been doing so here with Livingston Morris now with his first home run on the year. And took that one out. It's a deep in left center as he misses on the changeup by Carrollton. 1-1 count. It's now a 4-2 Mammoths advantage. And the RBI ground up by Nick Lucky, and then scoring on the pass ball, Dre Williams-Nelson.
Absolutely. Definitely a good job by the Mammoths top of the lineup to push those runs across. If I'm Livingston here, though, after hitting a home run, I know I'm not going to get another pitch to hit. So at this point, I'm changing my approach, taking backside. If he ends up throwing a fastball in, I have enough time to turn on it.
1-2 pitch on the ground, down the hot corner. Yeah. At the right approach, you know. Just a little tardy on it.
Yeah, Jelly's got to have that at first base. At third base, he's rubbing his beard because he knows he should have caught that baseball, but it's okay. We'll talk about it later.
1-2 pitch. He goes the other way into right, and that one's going to go all the way to the wall. Schellenberger has to chase it down. It's going to be a stand-up, 2-out double by Livingston Morris.
Phenomenal swing there by Livingston, understanding. Maybe he heard me, maybe he didn't, but phenomenal job by changing his approach after knowing that he was a little out in front on that fastball in, to just stay relaxed and trust his hands. Phenomenal swing to punch a backside double. Good start to the day for the big man Livy at second base right now.
Now there's some action going on in the pen for the Hoppers. That looks like that's going to be James Cole.
Yep.
I talked with Ryan Cockey on what his game plan is. You know, Carolden was trying to go at least 3, maybe 4, and then James Cole, well, another 3 or 4 innings as well, and see how the game goes. But you want to try to have a game plan, but things can change, you know, depending on how the flow of the game is. You see Tosh Porter and Ryan Carolden talking on the mound here and how they want to address Nick Webb here.
Right now, if I'm Taj, I'm probably telling Carolden, listen, man, trust your stuff. You know, a couple guys got a couple good barrels on you, but do your best to get out of this inning. 2 outs, trust your stuff, and trust your defense to make a play. Even a ball hit hard to the outfield, no guarantee Livingston's going to score from second base. Outfield's got to be on their toes. So I like this. I like the meeting to go talk to Carolden on that one there. But
yeah, absolutely. Out off of Joe Burke, quickly couldn't get a play on it. You know, out of his hands, and he tried to rush it to throw it over to Carolden. Good read by Carolden to get over the first to be ready for it, but just unfortunate by Joe Burke. And
yeah, unfortunate situation there. Hard hit, 1 hop. It took a nasty hop on Joe Burke. He didn't have enough time, in my opinion, to maybe drop step on that one, give himself a little bit more time, but you never know. Good thing about that turnout is the fact that you still have an opportunity to get out of the inning with just giving up 2 runs. That ball he keeps in front, doesn't allow the run to score. Let's see if they can get him out, get Mills out to end the inning.
Mills sends that 1-0 foul. They're going to give them an error on that play.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate error, but it is an error.
We mentioned, at the beginning of the show, limiting those mistakes, and whoever plays a cleaner game will have the best chance to win. And check swing. They're going to appeal down to the infield umpire. No, we did not. 1-1. Mills 1 for 1 today. That single in the last inning. Trying to tack on some more after the Mammoths have taken the lead back. That one goes past Porter. Morris.
You got to cover. You got to hustle and cover. Give him a better chance. It's an unfortunate situation. You have to limit the pass balls. You limit the pass balls, keep guys out of scoring position, give yourself a better chance to get out of the inning with force plays. It's going to be tough, but you've got to be able to keep the ball in front of you.
Now behind in the count 2-1, and I talked with Tosh Porter on how to communicate, with Carolden, how important it is to be ready and what pitches he wants to throw and try to trust his stuff. And it's now 3-1 right now. Trying to get out of this inning. And they lost him.
That's an unfortunate turn of events there. Almost out of the inning, a double, couple pass balls, and an infield error leads you to another run given up.
James Cole he's getting ready to go, and Coach Cocky will see as he talks over with the infield right now. Hasn't given up the baseball yet. He's still getting loose, maybe just buying some time.
Most definitely.
He's going to roll with him for now. Alex Garbasic now, the 8th man to bat this inning. Now 3 runs now for the Mammoths here in this top half of the 3rd.
The big key here is to not allow this inning to have any more bleeding than it already has. Keep yourself within a 4-run ball game.
Carolden gets set right down the middle for a strike, and though goes to the changeup that time.
Regardless of the situation or circumstance, if I'm the Mammoths hitters, I do not change my approach. See fastball early, don't try to do too much with it, and pass it on to the next guy.
First and second with 2 outs. Having to count 2-1. He goes back with the change up. So you got Webb at second, who reached on the error. Mills at first with that walk.
Yeah, it seems that Carolden's struggling with command right now. This is probably going to be his last inning no matter what happens. It might be even his last batter, dependent. We know we have Trevor Austin coming up after Garbasic, I believe, or Scotty Combs, one or the other. But
Garbasic's up right now. Combs is on deck.
Combs is on deck, correct. My apologies. So looking for him to hopefully get out of this at-bat unscathed.
3-1 pitch, and Garbasic was ready to drop the bat and head over to first. It's now 3-2.
Runners will be moving on this 3-2. Let's see if we can put one in the gap.
Payoff pitch coming, runners on the move. And called out on strikes.
Strike 3.
So Garbasic gets caught looking, but the Mammoths do score 3, and that was our 5th third bank, 5th third out of the game. The Hoppers will look to respond now in the bottom half of the 3rd. It's a 5-2 ball game. And now it's time for JJ the Water Boy, as he's always presented by Michigan First Credit Union. He always makes sure our umpires are hydrated and ready to go. Now he'll be getting a nice treat to fuel him for the rest of the game. Sunny skies here today. The umpires do need their water on this hot weather. So we're going to be sending it down. We'll see how the Hoppers respond here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, down 5-2 over the Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And there's JJ, the field general, and the water boy, playing with a frisbee here today, getting his exercise and having some fun in the sun. He is the star of the show anytime you come out to Jimmy John's Field, Marcus, and always fun to see him picking up the bat and The fans come out here to see him. He's always a treat to watch.
It's funny you mentioned that. My first at-bat in the USPBL, never forget, we're playing the Unicorns, packed house, 3,000, 4,000 fans, and I'm getting up to bat. They call my name, and I hear massive roars. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. They're cheering for me. Next thing you know, I'm going down to pick up a bat. JJ comes flying in, grabbing it, and then there goes JJ, and I'm like, ha, they got me. It wasn't for me. It was for JJ. But he is a superstar. He is a superstar.
Yeah. Garrett Martin will be stepping on the mound here now, and JJ, he does his job. The fans love seeing him. The fans, come out and they'll see these guys as well. They're playing their first game here, or they've been around, for a few months or a couple of seasons. Just come out and watching some baseball here today. These guys continue to improve and develop and work towards their goal of getting signed by an MLB team.
Absolutely, that's the end goal. That's the end goal. As Garrett Martin gets ready to pitch to a very good Eastside Diamond Hoppers lineup, who's down by 3 right now. Garrett Martin, arguably one of the best pitchers in the league. 62 innings pitched, 68 punchies. He's a guy who can throw 3 pitches for strikes. Not a guy to overpower you, but a guy to keep you off balance. It's going to be tougher hitting him with the slower breaking ball, spotting off a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. After seeing a guy like Nathan Witt, who has heavy velo and sharp movement, they're definitely going to have to change their approach, sit back, and find a ball that they can drive, not knowing that you can't hit a 3-run bomb with no one on base, and focusing and having good at-bats here.
It's 2-1 here on Joe Burke to start. 3-4-5 for the Hoppers. As that one goes at 74. He's had a couple of pitches in the upper 60s. As you see from Martin, comes in with a fastball, changeup, a curveball, as well as a forkball, listed here. He goes back a little bit more heat, that time at 88. Hardest pitch he's thrown here in this at-bat. Count sits evenly at 2. On the ground, roller over to Garbasic. Takes his time to accurately throw it over to Fox Liam, and Joe Burke is retired 1 away.
And again, you should see out of Garrett Martin, you're going to end up seeing a lot of contact, but not a lot of hard contact, unless it's going to be a ball that's a no-doubt hit. Because at the end of the day, Garrett Martin's going to keep guys off balance, but it's their job to let the ball travel a little bit longer, not overswing on a fastball, let their eyes get big, focus on finding bat-to-ball contact.
Yeah, that's exactly what he mindset with that slower speed you see. Most of these guys are expecting, at least most of the time, majority of the time in the upper 80s, 90-mile-per-hour pitches. But you see here again, going with the off speed, trying to keep the hitters off balance. Especially we've mentioned throughout the entire broadcast, playing the same teams, so many times throughout the course of the year. It's kind of like, how MLB teams, when they used to play, the Central Division, any divisional team a lot, you play them 18, 19 times a year. And now that's changed a bit, with them playing all 30 teams in the league. So that's scaled back a little bit, but it's kind of a similar feel. I don't have the exact number how many times you guys played the Hoppers or the Mammoths or the Unicorns each year, as that one takes a hop over to the chest of Williams Nelson. Good job by Martin coming out of the pen to get 2 ground ball outs.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of ground balls out of Garrett Martin. He does a really good job of getting missed contact. So look for him to continue to stay in a groove. The good thing about having a guy like Garrett Martin is that if he keeps going on, he can throw 60, 70, 80 pitches and still get through 4, 5, 6, 7 innings, eat up a lot of innings for your team to save your bullpen going into a good weekend and hopefully a championship weekend.
And we'll see what Taylor Jalikowski rolls with Martin. He did that with Chase Geary last night, going 5 2/3, coming out of the pen. After Connor Caparelli started the game, got into a little bit of a jam, but then Geary, settled in, did his job and helped the Mammoths get to a victory. And
absolutely, it's an interesting approach by Jelly the past few weekend games, having Nathan Witt, a bullpen guy, a primordial closer for any big team, to start a game off and keep hitters off balance from the start, to then have a middle relief guy who's going to pound the zone after your team gets a lead. It's a very interesting strategy that you do not see often, but given the fact that we play 2-3 sometimes, 3 games in a week, you'll see that very often from Jelly as Califa goes down swinging. Phenomenal appearance by Garrett. Let's see if Jelly decides to keep him in.
The Hoppers are retired in order. We head to the 4th. Still 5-2 Mammoths right here on the USPBL Network.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And there's a look at the Utica Eisenhower High School Marching Band. You know, they performed our national anthem this afternoon. You know, they are ready for the high school football season starting this past weekend and ready to go. It's that time of year, fall weather, you know, is upon us here in Michigan, and an excellent performance, you know, by the Eisenhower Marching Band here today. And always good to have, you know, the local schools come out here, you know, to perform. You know, we had some high schools out over the course of the year to perform, you know, the national anthem. We're performing for some of our fans here at the ballpark here today, and always a good, you know, for the community to come out here and showcase, you know, what they got and all their talent they have.
Absolutely, you know, and I give all these bands and these kids out here credit. I couldn't think of myself in high school playing an instrument, let alone in front of a huge crowd. Like, yeah, it's baseball. I can play in front of a crowd for baseball, but to play an instrument, that takes a special type of talent. So I always like to interject myself into people who play instruments and tell them, hey, man, you're doing a heck of a job, because I couldn't do it. I know they say that about pro baseball, but playing an instrument ain't easy either. So huge kudos to all those kids out there playing an instrument and getting in front of crowds and fighting their fears.
Yeah, I did play a musical instrument. I was in middle school. I played the trombone, you know, for a couple years, and then it just got a little bit tough, and then.
Right.
Yeah, so.
But you enjoyed it though, right?
Yeah, it was something different, you know, when I was younger, you know, trying something new as we got James Cole warming up for the Hoppers, you know, but going back, you know, it's always a you know, unique skill to have, you know, learn to play a musical instrument. Also for these kids, you know, the football season on them, playing every Friday night, you know, that's another thing too, playing in front of huge crowds, you know, good turnout, you know. Eisenhower High School, you know, being around the area, they're one of the top teams in the state every year, you know, one of the largest schools in the state. We got about 2,500 kids or so, you know, right up one of the largest schools in the state.
Yep.
Our part there with the Utica Community School District. You know, 4 high schools in the area. They're the second largest district in the state of Michigan, and as Scott Combs will lead it off. Popped up, first base side into foul ground. Joe Burke underneath it will haul it in and make the catch.
Looks like Cole's making quick run of these Mammoths so far. He's going to pound the zone. And same thing we talked about earlier with Garrett Martin coming in for the Mammoths, the same thing with Cole coming in for the Hoppers. He's going to be a guy who can go into a little bit deeper of a game for you, but it's going to be important for him to really focus on his off-speed pitches to keep these Mammoths off balance. If they can get out of they can have 2, 3, 4 innings of scoreless baseball from the pitching side from the Diamond Hoppers. It may give their offense a little bit more ability and comfortability with approaching their at-bats the rest of the game to try and fight and come back and win this ball game.
Yeah, especially with James Cole, lefty on the mound here. He did well in his last start 8 nights ago against the Unicorns. 5 clean innings of work, only allowing 1 hit. He did have 5 walks though, but he struck out 4 in 20 batters faced. So he wants to be able to cut down on the free passes here, but he's been another reliable piece. His ERA at 3.83. He's making his 10th appearance so far this season. His first relief appearance. Well, a local guy coming from Warren, Michigan, from Warren Woods Tower High School, did play at Davenport University, a Division II school in the GLIAC. 2-1 count to Austin as he sends this one out to center field as Anthony Flores takes a few steps in.
We call that a great swing to the wrong person. 20 feet left or right, who knows? Coming back to the top of the lineup here for the Mammoths.
He turns it over now. James Cole, was part of the GLIAC all-academic team, in his senior season. Last summer played for the Jetbox Baseball Club of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, where he posted a 2.42 ERA with a 2-2 record in 26 innings pitched. Seen a lot of guys from different levels come into the USPBL, and this is a swing and a miss by Nelson, 0-2.
One thing that makes Cole very good is his ability to be deceptive. As you see from his funky delivery, he actually throws across his body. And when you have a guy who's able to throw his changeup for a strike backed up off of a fastball that has a little bit of tail, who he can command the inner and outer parts of the zones, he's going to be a guy who's tougher to make solid contact in your first at-bat.
Doing so here, ahead in the count, 0-2 on Williams Nelson. Hard hit ground ball over to Alex Pup. A long throw over to Joe Burke, have to stretch out for it, able to make the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning out of the pen for James Cole. He's going to look for his offense to get back into this one. Still down 3, heading to the bottom half of the 4th.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time at Jimmy John's Field experiencing another exciting baseball game. This ballpark is one of many quality of life recreational assets Macomb County has to offer. And as you leave here today, let me invite you to explore Macomb County's diverse range of outdoor assets by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. You'll find that Macomb County's trails are open year-long and available for walking, running, biking, as well as paddling along the Clinton River. In Macomb County, there is something for everyone. Find out more about Macomb County's 4 seasons of fun by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. Now let's play ball.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Take a look at some of the fans out in the stands here today on the Sunday Fun Day, presented by Fairytale Entertainment. It's a 5-2 ball game in favor of the Mammoths over the Hoppers here today. Alex Johnson, Marcus Judd with you for the call. Always good for some of the young fans to come out here, enjoying their last week of summer before they head back to school. Right after Labor Day here in Michigan. Most schools, they'll start off the day after Labor Day, but just enjoying the last few days of summer they have, before going back to school and get back to work here. Garrett Martin for another inning of work. He took down the hoppers in quick fashion with a couple ground balls and a strikeout. He now faces Flores, Porter, and Maddox this inning. Flores, one of 5 straight singles in that second inning. He goes out for that one at 69 miles an hour on the gun. One-two pitch coming from Martin. Missed it. 77, 2-2.
Yeah, that's that fork ball you see. It's a great pitch. He left it. He put it in the zone where he's supposed to leave it. Didn't get a chase there. Let's see how he attacks this next pitch.
Flores with the 2-2, swings and misses. At 69, Flores chased it, couldn't get anything to go, and he is retired, 1 away.
Garrett's a good guy, a guy that you would call effectively wild. He doesn't necessarily have to throw the ball for a strike for you to get a swing and miss. Spotting a fastball, he can throw for strikes in that forkball, curveball mix. Appears to be in the zone and falls off the last minute. And if you're an over-aggressive hitter, it's going to be trouble for you.
That one down, 1-0 in the dirt to Tosh Porter. Porter, that one is out of play. Porter spent his time at Southern University in Jacksonville, Florida. Played in the Southwestern Athletic Conference in Division I. Was 2 for 3 on Friday, did have a double and an RBI. This is down 1-2 in the count.
Taj is a rarity. You know, you don't really see too many switch hitting catchers. Reminds me of a Joe Mauer type of catcher, but definitely has to be able to make solid contact from both sides. Just got under that one. It looks like it might be in play.
And foul ground. Scott Combs running in.
That is not That's not an easy play by any measure for a catcher to make.
Yeah, he wasn't really like looking directly at it. He was just kind of like, you know, he had his glove out, he got it, and he was just fortunate it fell into his glove, and especially with the sunglasses on, you know, with the sunlight, you know, it's just different, you know, opposed to night games. You know.
Absolutely. Even though the night lights can have some form of effect, when you have midday wind and sun like that, it's going to be hard to track a ball. But good job by a catcher going away from the ball, moving away from him, being able to make that play on the run. It's a good play.
Yeah, absolutely, he has done his duties. You know, working with Zach Beadle as behind the dish duties. As this one takes a chopper on one hop to Trevor Austin, over to Fox Liam, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Martin. We head now to the 5th, still 5-2 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
there's a look at the Mammoths dugout. Feeling good about themselves right now, up 3 over the Hoppers here today, as they look to lock in first place. The 2023 U.S. PPL regular season, the final week of play before the championship weekend on September 7th through the 9th. As you look at the standings right now, only a couple games left for all the teams. As you see, the Mammoths sitting at first place and a few games back are the Hoppers. And they're trying to win to hold on at least second place and trying to stay within reach of first. And then the Beavers sitting at third place, 19 and 22, and the Unicorns at 16 and 24. But any team still has a shot to win it all this year, depending on how the games go. And anything can happen in a single elimination game. This is going to be Nick Lucky to lead it off.
Talk about a game for Nick Lucky yesterday. You're talking 2 base hits and a bomb that goes about 400 feet.
That one swung on and missed by Lucky, as he is going to be stricken out to start here this 5th inning.
Not too upset if I'm coach about those swings. He still shows his aggressiveness at any given time. As you saw yesterday, he can change the dynamic. Lucky can change the dynamic of a ball game. Talking first appearance here in the league, 3 for 4, I believe. 2 base hits and a bomb that I kind of don't want to remember, but it was a shot. So look for him to continue to be a staple in this lineup moving toward the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward here at being in that key piece of the lineup for the Mammoths. A win for them today would lock them into first place and regular season champs. But there is a drawback to being the 1 seed. You do get to the championship game automatically, but not having that live at bats, seeing for the hitters rather, the pitchers get a benefit. Their arms are rested.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you mention that, because believe it or not, having looked back at the stats, every team's short period where their offense fell off and they started a little bit of a losing streak, some longer or shorter than others, actually came off of a 4 or 5 day break. Having played a Thursday game and not playing until the following Wednesday without a non-public, because maybe you have 3 games in a row, it can be a situation where, as we saw even last year, with the Unicorns making the run, and then the Beavers coming in and taking the championship away. So it's just as well as they can get to first place. It's just as well as it can be a situation where the last place teams builds up momentum into the championships and wins it. So at the toss of a hat, it's anybody's ball game come championship weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are, and especially for you on the Beavers, winning it last season, as a team, and trying to repeat this year, but look at having to play about 3 days, 2 maybe 3 days, to get to the championship. You guys will be ready to go, and then having some of that experience, it's just a different road, different mindset, for each seed. It's now Livingston Morris steps in.
Livingston looks a lot more comfortable. His takes are a lot more passive-aggressive, more so aggressive-aggressive. I like to see what he does here and head an account with Fox on first.
That one missed high, 2-0. It's the setup, for the playoffs. It was on the first night, the Thursday the 7th, the 4 and the 3 seed will play each other, and then on Friday the 8th, the winner of that game will play the 2 seed, and then the winner of Friday's game will play the 1 seed on Saturday night for the championship. That's the 9th. So just giving you how the structure is, for how the playoffs work in the USPPL and how a champion is crowned. It's quickly approaching here, and everyone trying to finish out the regular season strong. And it's James Cole takes a look over, takes a step off the mound, now gets back on it. Falling behind 3-1 to Livingston Morris, who already has a home run today. That was back in the first, a 2-run jack. They're looking over at Fox Lamb at first base. The back end standing up.
You know what would be nice to see? Even though it may not happen. It'd be nice to see Liv leg out a triple here and then come up last 2-8 Bs with the ability to hit for a cycle. A cycle for a big man, that'd be something special.
Suns went off the ground to Acevedo.
Oh,
they throw it over the pup for one. Relay to Burke, and it's a double play, a 4-6-3. And that ends the inning. A one-out walk and nothing else for the Mammoths as we head to the home half of the fifth. They're still leading 5-2 over the Hoppers here on the USPBL Network.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Some young fans enjoying a tasty treat. Always good to have some ice cream on a hot sunny day here at the ballpark. It's a 5-2 lead for the Mammoths over the Hoppers here. This is going to be 9-1-2 due up. Going to be Pup, Acevedo, and Marcoux. Now to the end of summer, it's always good to have some ice cream. It's a good, tasty treat. Good. Always good to have some ice cream when you want. As that one is going to be fouled by Alex Pup. Still got a lot of game left if you're the Hoppers, but you want to try to cut away at this deficit as much as you can as early as possible.
Absolutely. It'd be good to get a guy on here.
That one down. It's heading to count 3-1 as Martin is back out for his third inning of work. And that one fouled. He's run the count full. Glad to have you with us here on this Sunday afternoon, the final Sunday fun day of the year. Got a Hoppers fan on Facebook. That's Jalen Charles saying, "Let's go Diamond Hoppers." Trying to rally in a comeback. Just got a piece of that one.
It's a good at-bat here by Pup to be able to go deeper into counts. And when you have a guy who's a middle reliever, the deeper you go into counts, the more pitches you put in his arms, the more guys you see coming out the bullpen. So it's a good job to definitely fight. Great job getting on base there. Let's see how the top of the lineup can come and make an adjustment here. Garrett Martin find ways to get on, get over, get in.
Leadoff man on, and the first time Martin hasn't retired a batter. He came in retiring the first 6 he faced. Now sends it over now to Luis Acevedo. And that finds that inside corner. 0-1. It goes back. Pitches, in the upper 60s, lower 70s. It's been an adjustment for these hitters. That one at 66. He's been using that a lot here today.
Yes, you're going to see him mix up a lot of off-speed pitches against this lineup and do some ground ball, hard contact, soft contact.
And we're back up.
Just like we said.
Up to William Stelson, steps on the bag for one. He relays over to Liam for a 4-3 double play.
Worst case scenario, grounded to a double play. It's a good play by Dre Williams-Nelson just to take his time, step on second base, throw across the first base. Rocking the pink glove, pink socks, repping the breast cancer awareness. You gotta love it. Hyped up for his team. Definitely doing a great job for his team, playing phenomenal defense at second base, outfield, and being a stable at the top of that lineup.
Hey, I mentioned the pink glove and the pink shoes. You know, yesterday was Pink Out the Park. You know, everyone supporting breast cancer awareness. You know, last night it was also 80s night. People took a moment, you know, to recognize the people as with breast cancer, and as a Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in October. It's 1-1 count on Noah Marcoux.
Phenomenal take there by Noah. Noah's arguably one of the best hitters in the league. After coming off a hamstring injury, he's really helped his team become a staple in a second position in the game. Early in the game, late in the game, he finds a way to help his team win. Let's see if he can continue his hitting, his average throughout his return.
0 for 2 here this afternoon. Trying to get one through here. Sends one on the ground, but foul. The Saginaw, Michigan native, Noah Marcoux. Went to Davenport University as well. Ripped foul. He came in today 8 for 28 against the Mammoths this season. No hits for him in his last 13 at-bats. He played for the Hoppers last season, hit .291, 2 home runs and 22 RBIs, so a veteran on this team, but just got a piece of it to stay alive. Combs unable to get it into the glove as we take a look at some of the fans out on the lawn seats and right.
Definitely a beautiful day to pull out the blanket, pull out the snacks for the kiddos and just have a good day in the sun. It's roughly about 70, 75 degrees here in Utica, Michigan with a light breeze, minimal clouds, very sunny, a perfect day for baseball.
Yeah, perfect day indeed. You know, it's still good warm weather. You know, come out and watch a ball game here today. The payoff pitch to Marcoux, swings and misses.
Pitch. That's a great pitch. Can't be mad at that at bat.
Another strikeout for Garrett Martin. He gets a double play ball and gets out of the inning in a hurry. His team is still up 3, heading to the 6th here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank. And some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
couple of fans are going home with a Ribby bobblehead. Always good to get a free souvenir when you're out of the ball game, especially when it hits a bobblehead. Bobbleheads are always the best giveaway. One of the best souvenirs to get. And he's just opening it up right now. Ribby, one of the 4 mascots of the USPBL, and let's take a look at it and holding it up in the air. Very excited to see it.
Absolutely, definitely exciting. You know what we really should do? We need to have, and I hope everyone in the league is listening. We need to have a mascot race. All right. I just think that would be a great way to start off playoff season. Let's let the mascots run a race. Let them run the bases or run the warning track. That'd be great to see.
All 4 of them racing, all at the same time.
I don't mean to be biased here, but my money's on Buzz. Just saying. Not because I'm a Beaver, go Bushy Beavs, but it's whatever.
All the mascots, go around the concourse, entertain the fans, talk with them, take pictures, and they make the kids' day.
Absolutely.
You see it 2-1 one day, then 2-1 another day when the other 2 teams play. So you want to be able to see all of them.
Exactly.
Nick Webb steps in here as we start the top half of the 6th inning. As we take a look at the scoring breakdown, 5 runs on 7 hits for the Mammoths, 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Hoppers today. The game started off with a 2-run homer by Livingston Morris in the top half of the 1st. And then the Hoppers got 2 of their own to tie the game with a couple of RBI singles by Porter and Maddox. And then the Mammoths scored 3 in the 3rd. They got an RBI ground out as well as scoring some runs on some pass balls.
Absolutely.
Count sets 3-1 on Nick Webb. James Cole back to work, gets to a set. And a called strike.
It's a good pitch. That's a great pitch.
Porter set that one up perfectly, at the outside part of the plate. Nick Webb gets back in the box. Cole getting ready to throw the payoff pitch. Just taking his time, letting the pitch clock wind down and go. And he throws it at 84. Webb today 0 for 2, a strikeout and reached on an error his last time up. Pitch clock at 2, he throws. And called out on strikes, Nick Webb.
That's a tough pitch right there. That's a tough pitch. Can't give up on it. Tough pitch. Looks a little frustrated at that. And I don't, as a hitter, you can't blame him. But as a hitter, you also have to know, okay, close. He called that pitch your previous at bat. That odds are, if you get it again, you're gonna receive a strike. So you might as well take a hack. That one may have been a little out to Nick. Umpire thought otherwise. Either which way, great at bat and a great pitch to end on both the pitcher and Nick at the plate. Can't be too upset at that situation there.
Make a good point, especially on that 3-1 pitch that he took outside. He did not go at it, but was called a strike.
Right.
Now faces Patrick Mills with a single and a walk here today. That one missed low, 2-1. Goes in with that curveball. 2-1 pitch coming. Rips this one out to right, sliding.
Oh, no.
Brian Schellenberger. That one goes all the way to the wall. Couldn't get that one. Mills rounding second.
Let's see.
Going all the way to third, standing up.
tough break out there for Brian Schellenbarger. And again, after receiving rain up here in Utica this past week and a half, the grass in the outfield has not really had time to settle. So with that being said, you can't tarp the entire field. Infield stays fresh. Outfielders have had trouble of late games really getting some traction. As an infielder, I know personally that I let all my outfielders know, listen, ball in the air, I'm going to go till I get called off because I don't want you to sprint or fall out like that just happened. It's just an unfortunate scenario that he had slipped on a play that Brian Schellenbarger usually makes. He's a heck of an outfielder, gets great reads, makes good throws. It's just unfortunate that the ground didn't help him out in his favor on that one.
Yeah, now runner 90 feet from home after that play, and now infield's in for the Hoppers. No, can't get down even further. Swings and misses in the top part of the zone. Alex Garbasic now grounded into a fielder's choice and called out on strikes here today. One, the dirt by Tosh Porter, 2-1.
If I'm Garbasic here, I'm definitely seeing a ball up in the zone, especially with Cole, who's been leaving balls down. Look for a ball up. If he spots a low and away or down and in 3 times in a row, tip your hat. But until then, look for a ball up. You can get to the outfield, possibly get a sac fly.
And misses on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alex Garbasic.
See what he's got here, Sporting.
Runner on third for the Mammoths. 1 away.
It's a great take. It's a great take. Honestly, here, if I'm Cole, I'm not giving him anything too good to hit. If I walk him, it doesn't hurt me. It won't. It would put possible double play in order if they decide to do that with the middle. So I don't mind if if I don't throw him a good pitch to hit here.
He gets him down swinging.
Pitch.
Went way outside. Garbasic went after it. And that's another strikeout for James Cole.
Definitely a big one. Definitely a big one to push 2 outs with a man on third base.
They got some more action now in the Hoppers' pen.
Looks like Nicolatis getting ready to rock and roll.
Infield back to its normal position as Scott Combs steps in now. 0 for 2 for him on the day. Brought into a double play and fouled out on the first base line. Missing that one away, 2-0. Cole trying to get his command. Now the 2-0. Just missed high, ball 3.
Good discipline here by Combs, understanding that he let the pitcher come to him. Up 3 runs, the guy on third base would help out, but he's not getting over swinging here, trying to do the job, passing on to the next guy.
On the ground to Todd Maddox, scoops it up, throws it over to Joe Burke, and they get out of the jam. Good recovery by James Cole to get out of it. As they get a runner on third, but the Mammoths are unable to bring him home. Still a 5-2 lead for the Mammoths, heading to the bottom of the 6th, right here on the USPBL Network.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Another inning of work for Garrett Martin coming up. It has done really well since coming out in relief for Nathan Witt. No hits allowed, only let one walk. So he's done his job so far, keeping the score where it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Look for Garrett to continue to go deeper into this ball game, save his pin some energy, as long as he continues to keep these guys off balance. Doesn't look like we see any action down in the Mammoths bullpen. With a guy like Garrett, if he continues on, it's going to be tough for the Hoppers to battle back here. But you can't count them out. The best late game hitting team in the league. We've seen it all season long. At any given drop of a hat, they can score more runs.
Joe Burke out to deep center field, right near the warning track. Hauling it in is Nick Lucky. Took that one out for a ride on the first pitch. The wind has died down. And we mentioned of that earlier in the game on that foul ball that Garbasic was trying to slide for. The wind has calmed down. It wasn't blowing as hard like it was earlier today. Now Brian Schellenbarger steps in. 1 for 2 here today. Right back to the screen. Now quickly 0-2.
Yeah, you see Garrett, he's looked like he's finding a groove, finding a rhythm, getting the ball back, stepping on the mound with confidence, throwing his pitches with conviction. That's what you want to see out of a mid-relief guy.
He's done his job here today and looking to keep it up. 0-2. Just got a piece of it on the edge of the bat. Hoppers need base runners. On the ground, off the glove of Nelson. Has time though, and able to get Schellenbarger out.
Yeah, it's a heck of a job there by Dre to stay with that ball. These balls hit off these Hoppers bats are by no means going to be anything soft. So way to stay with that, keep it in front of them to be able to make a play.
Yeah. Usually at times when it picks off your chest or out of your glove, you panic. You try to just quickly throw it over, but he realized he had an extra second or two to make an accurate throw, which he did. He's got to be disciplined on those kind of plays and not overthink it when something happens like that.
Absolutely. A million things can go in your head as soon as you bobble a ball, you have a bad read, or you don't field it cleanly. You just have to understand that, okay, once I catch it, find the baseball, grab it, get rid of it, it's out of my hands. The more I think about it, the more I dwell on it, the longer it takes for me to make a good solid throw. You already bobbled the ball, no need to rush and then make an error. You already made the mistake by not fielding it cleanly, so you take your time. If you get the guy, you get him. Good. If you don't, you don't. And you pass on, you roll with the punches. But heck of a play there by Dre to stay focused on the play.
Counts 3-1 on Joe Califoot. Martin behind in this count. Quickly throws. Touches at the knees. At the low part of the strike zone, goes back with him at 85. Three-two pitch. Lost him inside.
Great six-pitch at-bat there by Califoot. Phenomenal job.
And gets rewarded. Trying to rally with Anthony Flores now stepping in. Flores 1 for 2 today. Did have a single in the second. Swings at the first pitch. Right to center fielder Nick Lucky. And that's going to end the inning. A 2-out walk by the Hoppers. Can't get anything else. We head to the 7th, folks. Still 5-2 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Mammoths in the driver's seat right now. Is a fan looking over the dugout of the Mammoths. Wearing a uniform, wearing a Unicorns cap here today. Unicorns last played on Friday, losing to the Hoppers in sudden death. Got a new pitcher for the Hoppers, Nick Galatis will take over. Third pitcher used today by Ryan Cockey. He started off the game with Ryan Carolda, then he turned it over to James Cole. Now Nick Galatis steps in. Austin swings at the first pitch and finds a hole into left, out of the reach of Alex Pup. Joe Williams Nelson steps in now. Has some fans on YouTube supporting him. John Garcia, watching from Pasadena, Texas, as well as Ashley Stone. Leaving a comment on YouTube. Another one down for a bunt, but goes foul. Getting into the final stretch of this ball game. Here on beginning the latter third here as we, in the top half of the 7th inning, the Mammoths trying to hold on to this lead and clinch the regular season championship and get the 1 seed and advance to the championship game on September 9th. Hoppers trying to stay around, running out of outs. The offense has to step up. Galatis gets some swinging there, 1 and 2.
Big overswing there by Dre, but I don't really mind that swing. Up 3 runs, not a bad swing there. Let's see what he does with 2 strikes, one of the best 2-strike hitters in the league.
Yeah, he's done well in that. A couple of base hits already for him today. Being the guy at the top of the order to get things going, but he goes down swinging. Good job on that 76-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch by Nick Galatis. Nick Lucky comes in now. 0 for 3 today, is responsible for that ground out in the 3rd inning that resulted in a run. Galatas throws. Popped out of the glove of Porter. Galatas coming from Artesia, California. Played at Jackson State University. He pitched on Thursday against the Beavers. Went 3 innings, allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 18 batters faced. So trying to improve here today. Two-0 count on Nick Lucky. Now missed way outside.
Now, if I'm Nick Lucky, if I'm Jellikowski right now, 3-0 with Fox coming behind the plate. If it's a strike that Nick can drive, I'm letting him eat here.
3-0 pitch.
Off speed pitch most likely. Yeah, not a pitch that he probably would have wanted in that count there. So see, we got 3-1 count. See how Nick approaches this AB.
3-1 pitch.
Smoked.
Yeah, it goes out to right. Right to Brian Schellenbarger. So first and second.
Oh.
Oh, they were.
Woo, that was a close one.
Yeah, no, he was just stepping on first. Didn't get back to the bag. Wasn't paying attention. That's the first base hit of the day for Nick Lucky. He was a 14th round draft pick by the Boston Red Sox in 2018. That was interesting. I talked about it last night on the broadcast. Nick Lucky and Dre Williams-Nelson were picked 9 picks apart in that 2018 draft. Williams-Nelson was picked 421 by the Angels, and then Nick Lucky drafted 430 by the Red Sox.
Wow, look at that. And they ended up on the same team. Love to hear it.
Yeah, just very interesting, last night, when he had that 3-for-4 day. Fox Lamb steps in now. Now 10 hits for the Mammoths. They had double-digit hits last night. This is a team that has been dealing over the last few games. Picked up a win on Tuesday against the Unicorns, then last Sunday against the Hoppers, as well as last night. They're throwing back over to second base now. It goes into the outfield.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that play there. That was a little bit unnecessary. Probably shouldn't have pushed it, but as an infielder, you got to know to keep that ball in front of you, prevent him from advancing. I understand where it's coming from. Trying to get him, catch him napping. But in that situation, down by 3, you still have a double play in order. You get a double play, you're out. Now, ground ball is not guaranteed that you may turn 2 with a Lucky at first base who may steal here now with Fox, a lefty who can pull the baseball and possibly punch across another run.
Yeah, he does have that power, and it'll be tough to get out here. 3-2 pitch.
Yep, ball 4. Didn't make much of a difference there. Ended up walking him anyway. So let's see how he attacks him here. Hopefully get him a ground ball, get him out of the inning. Or will Livingston Morris, crazy hot Livingston Morris, come up and do some more damage here in the top of the 7th.
He did ground into that double play in the 5th inning, but he does have a home run and a double today. There's some more action now in the Hoppers bullpen. As we take a look at who's over there. Swinging at the first pitch is Livingston Morris out to center. We'll get the job done. They're going over, moving up 90 feet. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. And it's now 6-2 in favor of the Mammoths as Lucky advances to third.
As much as that only puts across 1 run in a game, and with a team like the Mammoths who still have their entire bullpen ready to go at any given moment, now pushing that deficit to a 4-run lead, a grand slam doesn't even win you the ball game. So it definitely puts a little bit added pressure on the Hoppers to come back and have 3 opportunities to come back and get it.
Webb pops it up. Heading into the grass is Alex Pup and makes the play. Limits the damage, but the Mammoths do score 1. It's now a 4-run lead thanks to the Livingston Morris sacrifice fly. And now it's time for the Genesis Credit Union 7th inning stretch.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
The Hoppers have to find an answer as Garrett Martin gets back to work. I haven't had anything to do with him so far. Got a couple of walks, but no base hits allowed for Garrett Martin since coming out of the bullpen. Hoppers trailing by 4. Mammoths closing in on sealing up first place in the 2023 USPBL regular season and clinching a spot in the championship game on Saturday, September 9th, as Taj Porter sends one right to Alex Garbasic for a can of corn, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it seems like Garrett decided to quick pitch Taj there, and Taj bid on that one. Any given moment where, as a hitter, you're the lead off of an inning, I've been there, getting out first pitch is very frustrating, but you still have to understand that it happens to the best of us, that you roll with it and you move on to the next one.
Now, brings up Todd Maddox. Maddox also had an RBI single. 1 for 2 here today. That one down 2-0.
Too well. Let's see if Todd can get a fastball elevated. He can drive somewhere.
Looking forward to get back in the count.
Yep, and he does. Looks like an off-speed pitch, possible fastball.
Oh, they're doing that. 2-1 pitch coming. Swings and misses. This goes back with an off speed at 68.
Tell you, 68 to 88, 20 miles an hour makes a difference. A huge difference.
2-2 pitch.
Phenomenal take there.
Did he go? He did not. He held up. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Todd Maddox. Payoff pitch coming. Skied way up in the air and foul ground. Fox Liam underneath it and makes the catch. Two outs for Alex Pup. Got rewarded with a walk his last time up and need to get a spark on offense for the Hoppers. All their hits coming in the second inning.
Yeah.
With those 5 straight singles. But they've been held quiet since then. 0-1. Swings and misses. At 67 going at it. That has not been the ideal pitch that the Hoppers wanted to see all game, and haven't got anything off of it.
Yeah, if I'm Garrett, I'm going to keep throwing what works.
Rips this one down the left field line and off the netting of the Hoppers' pen.
Great swing. I wouldn't be surprised here if I see a fastball elevated or off the zone away for a strike, and then sport back that off-speed pitch. Let's see it.
0-2 on the way, right down the middle. Gets a piece of it.
I'm telling you, with a guy like Garrett, if you don't cut your swing down, you're going to have a tough day at the plate. You got to be able to focus up and put barrel in the baseball.
0-2 pitch coming. Goes down.
Fight.
Yeah, he's still battling here. Going the other way. Oh, 2 pitch coming. That one just missed. He went to 87 that time.
It's a good pitch. It's a pitcher's pitch. Phenomenal.
1-2 pitch. As the delivery throws by Martin, still battling.
Great fight here by Alex Pup. Now approaching his 7th pitch of the at-bat here, putting some more pitches in Garrett Martin's arm, but as we see, we may have a little bit of action in the Mammoths bullpen. Not too sure, but nevertheless, Garrett's grooving for sure. Ooh, that's a phenomenal pitch. Nothing you can do about that one there.
Yeah, got him on the inside corner as Alex Pup is caught looking, and the Hoppers are down in order again. Headed to the 8th, folks. 6-2 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Heading to the 8th, folks, here at Jimmy John's Field. That's a 6-2 Mammoths lead over the Hoppers here today. Alex Johnson and Marcus Judd with you for the call, as it's going to be now Danny Sullivan on the mound for the Hoppers as he's warming up. We'll take a look at the standings once again, just what's at stake. For both of these teams here is the Mammoths, if they're able to hold on to this, they will clinch the #1 seed and advance to the USPBL championship game on the 9th, get an automatic berth there. The Hoppers, still trying to get the best seed possible for them. If they drop today, trying to stay at that #2 spot. We'll see how that goes for them entering this final week of the season. But this game is not over yet. They've got to take care of business here with Sullivan on the mound and then get the bats working. Sullivan, the righty from Mullica Hill, New Jersey. He pitched on Thursday against the Beavers in 2 innings of work. Did allow 6 hits and 4 earned runs on Thursday night. Just trying to have a different approach here now. Now facing a 4-run deficit are the Hoppers.
Yeah, the biggest job for Sullivan here is to make sure that he does not allow too many runners on base here. Definitely have to pound the zone. Regardless if you're down 4 runs, the last thing you want to do is to have another big inning leading into your last 2 opportunities to bat for the Hoppers. So look for him to try his best to continue to pound the zone and give his team the best chance he has for a win.
And absolutely, that's what you got to do here at this point, Marcus. And looking at what he does, what he brings to the table, coming in relief right now, as following that one off his Mills to run the count full. You're very familiar, with these pitchers, playing them, almost every time you face against each other.
Absolutely.
In the air into shallow left. Calling that one in is Alex Pup. Charging that one through, calling off Mark Koo and Maddox. That is good communication out there. Couldn't afford that one to drop in for a bloop single.
No, absolutely not. Shortstop, outfielder has priority, but if you with Alex Pup's defense, you trust it and let him do his thing.
Now brings up Alex Garbasic. That one hits the strike zone at the bottom part, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Former Mammoths pitcher Kyle Bischoff watching on YouTube today, rooting for his Mammoths. He was signed by the Twins organization earlier this season. One of 4 players to be signed by MLB farm system this year.
Absolutely. Kyle Bischoff out. I actually got the chance to face him in spring training because he did pitch one game and then headed out. Congratulations to him for getting signed. I faced him one time in spring training as Garbasic takes strike 3 on the inside corner. I faced Kyle, and he's a heck of a pitcher. A lot of the times when I faced him, he did walk me, but again, he threw 4 fastballs, 2 of which hit 98. So he's right where he needs to be at the next level, for sure.
Yeah, congratulations to him. He's still rooting for his guys, even though with the Twins organization now, but working, a lot of these guys, starting out at the beginning of the year in May, and then get a call by the Twins that you're signed, and have to make that adjustment and leave everyone behind. As Scott Combs sends one on one hop to Luis Acevedo. High throw over to Joe Burke. He still steps on the bag and gets the job done. And a good outing by Danny Sullivan. That inning faces the minimum. Now the Hoppers have to come up to bat. Down to their last 6 outs of the ball game, headed to the bottom half of the 8th here on the USPBL Network.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Inning number 6 of work for Garrett Martin. Similar situation that Coach Taylor Jolakowski did with Chase Gearing, almost going 6 innings last night out of the pen. Tried to limit the arm use, heading into this final week of the season. And as he's continuing to warm up here, he has been phenomenal since coming out in relief for starter Nathan Witt here today, on the Sunday afternoon. Acevedo will lead it off. They'll be followed by Marcoux and Burke. 71 pitches out of the bullpen. So that's really difficult for anyone to come out in the middle of the game, but he's done his job. As Luis Acevedo sends a fly ball to right. Patrick Mills underneath, and it's another 1 pitch, 1 out. Same thing that happened last inning. Taj Porter swung the first pitch and popped out to third.
Not too upset about that swing there by Luis, but at the end of the day, down 4 runs. If it's not the perfect pitch, let them work the count, get to a different pitcher, get on base, and see if you can do with your team.
He's been dealing right now, and the Hoppers, you give credit, where credit's due to the Mammoths. The pitching has been strong, especially by Martin today. But the Hoppers, they haven't been able to make that adjustment, to what Martin has thrown. How to attack certain pitches, his off speed or his fastball, and this is now the 6th inning you faced him now, and now you're comfortable to see what he does, but haven't made that adjustment yet, and they got on base twice with walks and nothing else. This is a team, has been really consistent. Haven't had a lot, of changes in the roster. So this has been a team that's been working through since the start of the season in May, as Marcoux is run up on strikes.
Phenomenal pitching. Phenomenal pitching by Garrett, coming out of the pen in middle relief and into a extended relief here in his 6th inning so far. For Garrett, is just absolutely dealing right now. Not over 80 pitch mark, more strikes than balls, high contact rate, low mile an hour contact rate, soft contact rate actually, and he's continued to command the zone. When you have a defense behind you that's making the plays and an offense that you trust to score runs, it is easier to throw strikes as a pitcher, even when you have a hot lineup like the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
They've kept him cooled off here. It's a 1-1 count on Joe Burke. One count here. Swing and a miss, 1-2. On-2 pitch, just outside, 2-2. Two pitch, swing and a miss.
Phenomenal pitch. That is such a tough pitch to lay off of. Garrett Martin hot out the pin for the Mammoths, quieting the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here in the bottom of the 8th.
6 punch-outs for Martin here today as we head to the 9th inning. Mammoths still up 4 here on the USPBL Network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
The fans are enjoying themselves here at the ball game here today. Our last Sunday fun day of the year, presented by Fairytale Entertainment as we head to the 9th inning. Going to be Luke Drummond on the mound, entering our final week of the regular season as we take a look at the schedule coming up. Only a few games left. It'll be the Unicorns and Beavers on Thursday night for the final Thirsty Thursday of the regular season. It's also Ladies' Night. And then on Friday, the Mammoths will be back in action against the Beavers. And then on Saturday, the Diamond Hoppers will play 2 with the Unicorns to wrap up the regular season. And then, like I mentioned throughout the show, championship weekend starts Thursday, September 7th, with the 4 and 3 seeds squaring off against each other. Then the winner of that game will play the 2 seed on Friday the 8th. And then the winner of the semifinal game will move on to the championship game on Saturday the 9th against the 1 seed at 6:05. So Luke Drummond, now the 5th pitcher used by the Hoppers here today as he faces 9-1-2. Right back to the screen foul is Trevor Austin, who's had a 2-for-3 day. Now, he got the start last night over at short. 0-2 pitch coming. Got off a piece of the bat. Wasn't trying to swing at that.
Trevor Austin is, again, one of those guys that we talk about being a guy to come in at shortstop position and really take over and command his infield, especially for a winning championship caliber ball club.
And he's done his job, and as well as Colby Seltzer, who has also played short. Those two guys, at that bottom part of the order, contributing at the right time.
Absolutely.
Check swing did not go. Didn't look like he went. But 2-2. And let's see if anybody's starting to warm up. They're just hanging around over there. That one in. It did not go again. So it's 3-2 on Trevor Austin.
I have a feeling that Garrett's probably going to go back in the 9th if he gets in a little bit of trouble. They may see Cal Coffin come in out the pen, the Mammoths closer.
Good job by Luke Drummond, right up the middle at 89 miles an hour for the first out of the 9th. Drummond has his fastball, a 4 and a 2 seam, a slider, curveball, and a split changeup. He's the right-hander from Temple Terrace, Florida, and played at Birmingham Southern College, a Division III school. Coming in with a 3.66 ERA, his 21st appearance on the season. 50 strikeouts and 22 walks, an opposing batting average of just 191.
Yeah, Drummond's one of the best pitchers in the league. He's coming off of an injury, but he does throw all his pitches for strikes with confidence. He'll throw the ball in the zone, slightly off the zone. Come on, Jelly, you gotta have that, man. Come on. That's why Jellikowski's known for hitting bombs, not catching ground balls. They're definitely gonna hear from him later.
He did play in the USPBL. He was signed by the Twins in 2017. He played his college days over at Madonna. He's another local guy. Grew up in Fraser, not too far from here.
Now his team's looking to top the league at first place, possibly push to a championship berth.
3 outs away, from clinching that spot. Check swing, called strike, 1-2. Chase him at the top part of the strike zone. And Nelson goes down swinging. Nick Lucky now steps in. Did get a single his last time up. First pitch he sees, called strike right at the knees at 88 miles an hour. Next pitch. Missed away, 1-1. The Hoppers will have their last chance in the bottom half of the inning. Oh, trailing by 4. Two-one pitch. That's the outside part of the plate. Makes it 2-2. Drummond trying to strike out the side.
For the viewers out there that don't know, Lucky has just called his own time there. A batter is allotted 1 time. That does not count against him toward the pitch clock per at bat.
Yep, so he's able to get back in now. Pitch clock at 4. Drummond gets to his windup, delivers. Just missed low. And it's not where he wanted to be at 90 miles an hour. Three-two pitch. Popped up. Will it stay in play? Tosh Porter running out of room. And could not get to it. He could not get to it. It was right up at right near that wall and goes out of play. So Lucky will have another chance. Payoff pitch coming. And they're going to say it was a dropped third strike. He thought that one had a foul piece. Lucky's at first base, but yeah, so yep, that it will be a drop third strike. No, he thought that was a Porter thought he had a piece of it, but inning continues. Continues now for Fox Liam. Porter was confused on that, he was looking at the umpire, why is Lucky running,
Yeah, it seemed up here for it to be a foul ball, but maybe down there is a little bit different. See if Drummond can get out of here unscathed. That'd be really big for his ball club.
Just outside, 2-0.
Big bender.
Yeah, trying to go at it here at 69 miles an hour of his own.
That's my favorite number, 24. Hey, Jackson.
2-0 pitch coming. Swing and a miss, a big rip by Fox Liam.
2-0 swing, you want nothing else out of your big four hitter, or 3 hitter in this regard. So great, phenomenal swing there by Fox. Let's see if he can cut it down and find a barrel.
Drummond gets set with the 2-1. Got that one at the top part of the strike zone. Oh, just touched that border up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Fox Liam. Called strike 3, a tough one to take by Fox Liam. That movement that Drummond had on that pitch. He strikes out the side. And now we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Hoppers. Down 4. They'll have 4, 5, 6. Brian Schellenbarger, Joe Califoot, and Anthony Flores due up when we come back right here on the USPBL Network.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Take a look at the pennants out in left field as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Garrett Martin's back on the mound for the Mammoths, trying to close this one out here in his 7th inning of work. Let's take a look at the standings quickly, though, and really know what's at stake here right now. The Mammoths, if they can hold on to this here, they will clinch the regular season, be regular season champs, and advance to the championship game on September 9th. The Hoppers trying to spoil those plans here and try to stay within reach of first place. As I take a look at the standings right now.
Did you catch which flag is held up really high? It's blue. It has a beaver on it. Do you see that flag out there that's waving? That's real interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, the defending champs. Last season. You guys are still right into it here. Doesn't matter what seed you get. Everyone still has a shot. To win it all.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. The bushy beeves are hot, and the league is on notice. That's all I gotta say.
It's going to be interesting, for you guys, you and the rest of the Beavers, trying to defend your title. As Brian Schellenbarg has had to play that one over the head. Yeah, to duck out of that one.
I don't think Shell Shock liked that one.
Martin, like I mentioned, his 7th inning of work out of the pen. Sends this one down to left. Webb underneath it. Hauls it in. One gone. Joe Califoot steps in now. Okay. 1-0 count to Califoot. Trying to rally here, down 4. The bats have been quiet since the 2nd inning. 5 straight singles in the 2nd, and just a couple of base runners since for the Hoppers. They've been really shut down.
Yeah, aside from that big inning they had with runners in scoring position in the 2nd inning, it's been quiet, and it's all thanks to the guy on the bump right now, Garrett Martin. Really keeping all these hitters off balance, throwing really good pitches for strikes, being effectively wild in times that he needs to be. He's really, really a guy who's going to be very important on this back end stretch for the Mammoths. If he can pitch like this, it's going to be tough to put up a good fight against him.
This slow ball 3, and he has been dealing right now 7 innings almost. Now, if he's able to hold on to this coming out of the pen, that's a tall task, and able to be very consistent. That's his 3rd walk allowed.
Yeah, regardless of the situation, I think I'd let him ride out completely unless he really gets in some trouble here. I'd let him go until the game is over, unless he starts to get in some serious trouble. He looks like they may actually be going to the pin now to get a righty-righty matchup, as they will. I believe it's looking like who's coming out the pin.
They were looking at Cal Coughlin maybe, and then there's another guy in there.
Looks like Wilson coming in.
We'll see who it is. They're just trying to buy some time, make a decision. and it looks like we do have somebody coming out of the pen.
Looks like it's going to be Cal.
Yeah, Martin's going to give up the baseball.
Phenomenal job by Garrett Martin. Phenomenal job.
We got a pitching change on the mound as the Mammoths making a change here. We're going to step aside for a moment with the Hoppers trying to rally here with one man on first base in the ninth inning. We'll be back here on the USPBL Network.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Cal Coughlin coming in, looking to close the door on this one and seal up first place for the Mammoths for sure here. He pitched last night, got a strikeout with 4 batters. Now coming in relief for Garrett Martin, who did his job, did not allow a single hit through his 6 1/3 innings of work here today, Marcus. And you got to be pleased if you're Taylor Jellikowski on what he did out of the pen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Garrett has been a staple in a lot of his starts. It's just the same MO. He's able to go deep into ball games with a high pitch count, keeping the opposing team down in runs, and really giving his team a chance to fight. In this situation here, he comes in mid-game, up with the lead, understands that, and commands the zone, sporting all 3 of his pitches thrown for strikes, effectively wild when necessary, and really keeping these Diamond Hoppers off balance all game long.
Yeah, he did his job, and Coughlin trying to keep it that way. Flores up now.
If I'm Cal here, I'm just going to attack every single hitter that steps in the box with conviction, with no fear, going right at them, making them get themselves out for the most part.
0-2 pitch coming. Fly ball. It's a shallow right, and it's going to drop foul.
A little bit out of reach, it looked like.
0-2 count here on Anthony Flores. Hoppers trying to rally here.
Down to the last 2 outs. Let's see if they can spark something. If any team can do it, it'd be them.
Trying to get one through here. Lost it there by Scott Combs, and Califoot advances to second.
Yeah. Not a terrible pitch there. Just missed it a little bit, that's all. Looks like Scotty's glove might have broke on that pitch, actually, believe it or not. Ball could have possibly went through his web.
Yeah, he's going to walk over to the dugout, try to get a new one.
Yeah, it's definitely ripped. Yep.
He's going to go over there. Zach Beadle giving him a new one.
There's only so much you can do when the webbing of your glove breaks.
Yeah. He's going through almost the entire game. And
let's see if Cal can get out of here and hold the Diamond Hoppers to 2 runs.
Got a runner on second now.
Flores, you cut the swing down, put a ball in play, and hopefully push a run across, pass it to the next guy.
1-2 pitch coming.
Good eye, beautiful eye there.
That's upstairs. The fastball 88 Coughlin. coming from Lake Forest, Illinois, played at TCU. I mentioned he pitched last night on the ground, foul. You just want to keep it moving here if you're the Hoppers. You know, down 4. Got to get some base runners here.
Absolutely.
2-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss.
That's a tough pitch there. Tough pitch. Phenomenal pitch by Cal. Pitch would.
Now up to Taj Porter. And an RBI single to put the Hoppers on the board in the bottom half of the second. Will he keep it going here?
After checking out Taj's last 2 at-bats prior to his first at-bat hit, you definitely want to stay a little bit more relaxed and let him come to you. Don't be over aggressive with 2 outs. You can't hit a 4-run home run with 1 guy on base. Looks like a pitch clock violation on the pitcher Cal.
That's miscommunication now. Let's see. It's 1-0. No pitch clock this season. First time we've seen it here today. Outside now 2-0.
2-0 here. If I'm Taj, I'm trying not to get too big here. If it's not a perfect pitch, I'm not swinging. I'd rather him try to throw 3 strikes by me before I take my base to first base.
And it takes a rip on that one. 2-1.
A little over aggressive there. Got to let him come to you. He hasn't really thrown you a ball in the zone yet on 3 pitches coming up on the 4th. Definitely allow him to come back to you.
2-1 pitch coming. And now swings and misses again.
That's a good pitch. Breaking ball back over the center cut of the plate.
Good job there by Coughlin. Now the Hoppers are down to their last strike.
If I'm Coughlin here, I'm coming back with the same pitch. He swung and missed, and he took. So let's see what we can do from there.
Coughlin getting set. Takes a look over at home plate. Looking over at Combs. Gets himself ready. Now the 2-2 pitch coming. Inside, ball 3. Porter moving his back out of the way. Up next would be Todd Maddox. If Porter can get on base. 3-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. And the Westside Wally Mammoths are your 2023 U.S. PBL regular season champions. And they will be moving on and getting a spot in the championship game on September 9th. They automatically advance, get an automatic berth. There was still a week left here in this regular season, but they will have first place for sure, and will be in the championship game on September 9th. What a phenomenal job. Highlighted by Garrett Martin out of the pen, 6 1/3 innings of work. As you see the standings right now, the Mammoths clinching with a 26-17 record. They still got a game on Friday against the Beavers to be played, but a great win for the Mammoths, and they will be in the championship game on Saturday, September 9th. The Mammoths pick up the victory by a final score of 6-2. High fives all around for the Mammoths today. What a phenomenal job. Livingston Morris had the 2-run homer. Garrett Martin did his job out of the pen, coming in relief for Nathan Witt. And looking over down at the first base side, the Mammoths taking a team photo for their celebration here today. And congratulations to the Woolly Mammoths. As you see on the scoreboard, they brought their bat to the bone. Motto here with the bat to the bone jerseys this season. That was really popular amongst fans coming into today. And now celebrating it here, but they still got work to do here this final week of the season, and then have punched their ticket to the championship game this coming Saturday, and Saturday the 9th rather, so not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, but it's going to be here before you know it. As in just a moment, we're going to be sending down to Kara Wolfbauer, who will have our player of the game, the Detroit News player of the game, Garrett Martin, 6 1/3 innings out of the pen, no hits allowed by the Hoppers today, kept them in check. And congratulations to Taylor Jellikowski, Justin Karn, and the rest of the Woolly Mammoths for clinching the regular season championship. And just a matter of seconds here as we get ready. As Kara Wolfbauer down on the field. As you take a look at the score line, 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Hoppers. We're going to send it down to Kara Wolfbauer.
I'm here with our Detroit News player of the game, Garrett Martin, who went 7 innings for the Mammoths tonight, giving up no hits, no runs, so a fantastic game for you, Garrett. And they actually made history tonight, the Mammoths. This is the first time in the history of the league that you guys have been able to clinch the '1 seed. So tell me how that feels being such an integral part of it.
It feels great, but I got to tip my hats to my team. Great group of guys. We meshed together well. You know, the bats got going, and they played great defense. So I'm glad I could just do my part and, you know, throw strikes.
Yeah, so when he originally walked up to me, he didn't even realize he gave up no hits through 7 innings. So obviously, very team player, all about his team. That's what the Mammoths have been so far this year. And you guys played the Hoppers, who, as of right now, are the #2 seed. So a potential championship game matchup here. So what are you doing to keep these effective hitters off balance tonight?
Well, Scotty called a great game behind the plate. So we just mixed it up, threw a lot of off speed and changed elevation. And so, yeah, again, Scotty called a great game, and that's about it.
Well, congratulations once again on being our Detroit News player of the game. Give it up one more time for Garrett Martin, everyone in the stadium. There we go. And on our broadcast, thank you for tuning in with us tonight. I'm going to send it back up to the boys in the booth. I'm Kara Wolfbauer. We'll see you next time at Jimmy John's Field.
Thanks so much, Kara. 6-2 victory for the Mammoths over the Hoppers here today on this Sunday Fun Day. The Mammoths have clinched the #1 seed for the first time in their USPBL history and their team history, and it's a good win for the Mammoths here today. They still got work to do, Marcus, heading into this last week of the regular season before that championship game on the 9th.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, next week they'll have 2 more games to finish up the their season. Yeah, they've played a phenomenal season all year. Definitely well-deserved to get the #1 seed, but still, it's anybody's game when it comes to the championship. It's one game, the best against the best, and
as it's the Unicorns and Beavers squaring off at 7:05 right here on the USPBL Network. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you back on Thursday night.
Woolly Mammoth, we on a roll. Woolly Mammoth, we're #1. We work hard, play harder, we get better